All right, welcome to the next session of this certification really that I've created since 2018 and has produced great results in so many people like yourself that are looking to level up, scale up, jumpstart their business. And of course, we know that in the current market that we're in, and in any market, we always have to be going back to the basics. And I always like to start out going over the productivity model because it is something that we must internalize this. We must internalize these four pillars and basically make them part of our DNA for business. So write that down in your playbooks. As you all know, this is a very hands-on interactive session that I do. And I want you guys to have your playbooks because every note that you take is what you're going to go back and be able to look at, be able to review, be able to, just restudy over and over and over. So within the productivity model are four elements that are essential to your real estate business. And it doesn't matter what market we're in. Number one, you have to know where you're going. So what are the expectations that you have for the next 90 days? I always say that we have to break down our businesses into 90-day cycles. Real estate is a cyclical type of business. You want to write that down. Real estate is a cyclical business. What does that mean, Lucy? That means that it is a cycle. If today, for example, you have no appointments scheduled, then you already know you're not going to have a closing in the next 30 to 45 days because it is a cycle. So the expectations, what are those goals? The first goal you need to know is within the next 12 months. The second goal that you need to focus on is within the next 90 days. And the third goal that you want to focus on is within the next 30 days. For you to reach your goals in this market mainly, and in any market, you have to have the right skill sets. The biggest challenge that we are seeing in the real estate industry and why people are jumping ship and, going after the next shiny object or doing whatever it is that they're doing is because their skill sets are not where they need to be. Their skill sets are not strong enough to scale. Write that down. Your skill sets, imagine for a moment you climbing a mountain. Your skill sets are the ability, the aptitude, and the capacity for you to be able to go to that next level, for you to be able to go to that next level in climbing that mountain. So skill sets are everything. Your skill sets are going to be determined by the way that you practice, and practicing is something you need to do every day. And the other thing about skills is it is going to build your level of confidence. You can tell when someone has boldness. You can tell when someone has a high level of confidence in what they're saying and what they're doing by their body language. We already talked about in a couple of other sessions that 55% of what you do is based on your body language. Only 7% is what you say. 55% is how you do it, what you do. So the first pillar is those expectations. The second one is the know-how, knowing how to do what you need to do. I always say telling is not teaching, and we've got a lot of great teachers. We've got a lot of great trainers. We've got a lot of great mentors that are in the arena of telling you what to do. But the difference and the rubber meets the road when you are shown what to do. So I am a firm believer in demonstration, teaching by demonstration. And that's what we do in our, productivity mentorship that we have at the Academy, is literally taking agents out into the field and showing them what to do. So I'm going to teach you. Your job is to learn. You're going to test it. Here is the implementation part. And this is where most agents are disengaged. They're fractured. They are literally fallen apart because they're not implementing. They have not implemented. We have sat in so many Zoom rooms in the last 36 months that it is incredible. Never in the history of real estate has there been more Zoom rooms than we've seen in the last 36 months. But what's the problem? People show up with a black bag over their head. That means their camera is turned off. They sit there and they are basically, guys, what I have to tell you is the truth. You are hallucinating that you're being productive by sitting in a Zoom room. And you're not being productive unless you're implementing. And that is what we call in our second pillar, you test it, you practice it. So whatever I've taught you in the last several sessions, your job is to implement it, to test it. Once you test it, you're going to contest it. You're going to say, it worked, it didn't work. what worked, what didn't work, did I like it, did I not like it, where am I strong, where am I weak, and then you share your investigation, your intelligence, you share your findings. We find this a lot in the arena of law enforcement. Every day the police officers do a debriefing with their captain, because they have to come back and report what happened. How was it out there? What did they see? What did they find? What did they encounter? We don't do this a lot in real estate, but it is a very powerful thing that we should do. And it is contesting it. It is, coming back and sharing, debriefing what we found. The third pillar, accountability. Accountability is everything. Accountability is the glue that holds it all together. Write that down in your playbook. Accountability is the glue that holds it all together. Accountability holds everything together. You implement it, you get feedback, you get someone to tell you the truth, you get someone to lead, guide, and help you navigate. You improve on what you did, because now you're going to go into tracking, you're going to go into measuring, you're going to go into managing. Write this down. This is so important. You cannot manage what you don't measure, and you cannot measure what you don't track. You need to learn this like I've learned it, to the point that you could just regurgitate it, because it comes from within your core. Tracking, measuring, and managing is everything. So you implement it, you get feedback, you improve, and you repeat. And the third pillar, I'm going to say less than 1% of real estate agents have this third pillar in their day-to-day operations. The last pillar, and where we all want to get to, because this is the only word that makes sense in this real estate arena that we are in, and in any real estate arena. And this is basically what we are all measured by. And this is what's going to speak about our business, is your level of productivity. Your level of productivity is unrefutable. I remember back in 2014, my mentor said to me, Lucy, you will earn your respect based on your results. And you should write that down too. You will earn your respect based on your results. Your results are going to give you the level of respect that you want in the marketplace, within your agent and colleague community, with your buyers, with your sellers, with your preferred providers, with the title company, mortgage company, insurance company, home inspectors, appraisers, surveyors, with the moving companies. Your results. People want to do business with people that are winning. Write that down. People want to do business with people that are winning. At what level are you winning? So productivity is the key. It's everything. And that is what we are seeing the least in our area, is productivity. And in any area, I mean, this is across the nation. We've had over 60,000 real estate agents leave the industry. I am sure it is not because they were making too much money. I am positive it is not because they were making too much money. So your results, and once you repeat, you practice, is going to give you mastery. That's why I call this Mastering Real Estate, the Prodigy's Path to Success. There's no shortcuts. No one is reinventing the wheel. There's no secret formula. There's no hidden treasures to succeeding in real estate. It is all basics, boring, boldness that you repeat day in and day out. And that is what the top producers, that is what the top 2% of real estate agents, team leaders, and brokers are doing in this market and in any market. And when you master it, it gives you quality of life, guys, because at the end of the day, you and I got into real estate to make a what? A profit. Profit is not a bad word. Profit is not a bad word. And if you're closing one deal every 3 months, you have no profit. You have no savings. You have no storehouse. You have nothing left over, because a lot of agents right now are spending all their income even before they have their income. So that is the 4 pillars. Now, the objectives are real simple. You want to learn, and you have to learn how to become a real estate entrepreneur. That's your number 1 objective. How do I go from being agent-minded to being real estate entrepreneur-minded? Number 2, you have to create habits that produce results. Being on Facebook and doing flyers and folding letters and putting, stamps on postcards and, fixing your files and reorganizing your office and painting your office like I used to do when I was first in real estate, and I wanted to feel busy. I wanted to feel like I had accomplished something. So I would find busy work, but that is not productive work. So write this down. It's money-making activities. MMA, money-making activities. You have to become a ninja of MMA, money-making activities. That's going to lead you to working smarter, not harder. That's going to lead you to repositioning yourself to being an agent that can have consistent, write this down, consistent and predictable income. Consistent and predictable income. That is going to help you understand the power of building your business vision. You must have a vision for your business. So exactly who do you want to be in the marketplace? Because that's going to give you the next thing, which is the identity in the marketplace. If you just want to be another one of the bunch, that's how buyers and sellers are going to see you. That's how you're going to perform. That's how you're going to act. That's how you're going to play. That's exactly the type of results you're going to get. The average or below average results. But when you identify a clearer, and write this down, I need clarity. You and I need clarity in our identity in the marketplace. What do you want to specialize in? What do you want to be an expert of? What do you want to be the authority of in the marketplace? And are you sending that message? And if you are not, that's where you have to focus. You have to focus on becoming the messenger with the right message until you become the voice of experience, expertise, and authority. That's it. That's what we're here to do. So that when you walk into a listing presentation or you sit down at the table with a buyer, you are dominating the conversation. Write that down. I must dominate the conversation. That's going to help you get stronger skill sets, and that's going to give you outstanding performance. And guys, let me tell you something right now, and in every market, the only thing that's going to pay you big bucks is outstanding performance. Average players don't make outstanding, money. Below average players or below average performers don't make outstanding money. But if you are delivering an outstanding performance, you're going to make outstanding money. We're talking about at least 6 figures. I mean, if you're in real estate, that has to be your, 5-year plan, 3-year plan. It doesn't matter. It has to be at some point, that has to be your goal. So today in the anatomy of lead generation, because this is where we've been, this is the roots of it. This is the nitty gritty. This is where it all begins. This is, the bottom line is, are you a lean, mean lead generator? And if you're like some of the agents that I have coached and trained, and they say, but I don't know anybody, that is a hallucination. You've got people on your phone. You've got people at work. You've got people that you're friends with. You've got relatives. You've got family, but they don't live here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they don't live here. The moment that you start putting the action in place, other doors are going to open. So here's where I want to focus on for a little bit today is, which one of these do you want to specialize in? Which one of these? Because there's the one that captures the lead. There's the one that works the follow-up and creates the appointment, right? Because first you're going to have a conversation. First, you're going to do a lot of dialing, right? You're going to be dialing for dollars, dialing for dollars, dialing for dollars. Then you're going to be leading that conversation into follow-up, 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 follow-up until you create the appointment. And once you create the appointment, that's the beginning. That's the beginning. That's not the end all. That is just the beginning. The appointment is the beginning of the conversations that are going to lead to putting a deal together. And then between the appointment and the closing table, there's a whole other things. But here's where I'm going with this. Here's where I'm going with this. You have to identify, are you best at capturing leads? And is your weakness the follow-up? And there's no judgment. There's no shame in the game. Not every lead generator is a great lead follow-upper, a great lead follow-upper. I know people that are great at connecting in conversation, but they totally fumble and drop the ball when it comes to the follow-up. And write this down, guys. The fortune is in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. It has always been in the follow-up. It will always be in the follow-up. So if you are a great lead capturer, if you are great at conversations, at connecting, but you are weak at the follow-up, then you need to think about joining a team. You need to think about joining a team, because then you need that added support. And I'm going to start talking about this a lot, because it's not just me coming and giving you the how-to, it's also helping you reposition and maybe redefining what you've been doing and how you've been doing it. For example, I speak with a lot of agents, new agents, existing agents. I spoke to an agent the other day. She's been in real estate for over 5 years. And I asked them this question. And again, there's no judgment, there's no shame in the game, but it is the truth. And if you face the truth, if you face the music, you're going to be set free. You're going to find a way out. And I asked her, I said, be honest, no judgment, no shame in the game. How many transactions have you closed this year so far? We're closing out the month. We're right now closing out the month, right? And she's been in real estate for 5 years. This is a true story. And she responded and said, I've had absolutely no closings this year. Immediately, I know the diagnosis: lack of implementation. Because if you've been in the business 5 years, and I know this agent has done well in the past, and if you've been in the business for 5 years, why are you in 2023, right, having no closings? Lack of implementation. But there's also another step. In certain markets, and actually in many markets, the fact that you're a top producer doesn't mean that you're great at everything or anything. And so if you want to scale, you need to surround yourself with an added layer or layers of support. Let me break that down for you guys. Let me break that down for you. Don't let your ego rob you from scaling and hitting that 6-figure income. What that means is that you may be great at capturing leads, but you suck, excuse my word, but I want to like really bring the message. You're totally not good at all at the follow-up, and the fortune is in the follow-up. Now, you may be great at the follow-up, and you may be great at capturing the appointment, but you never ask for the order. You never ask for the order. You're like a waiter or waitress sitting there talking to the customer, 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 and you never say, okay, so what are we going to order today? What can I bring for you? What do you want to drink? What do you want to go see? You got your checkbook? We're going to go buy a house. You ready? We're going to list this home. Start packing because you're moving. You may not be good at closing the sale. Or even worse than that, you may not be good administratively. And you know that between writing the contract and getting to the closing table, there is a lot of administrative work. So why am I breaking this down here? Because I believe that you are at a point right now where you've had enough information. If you've been watching all these last sessions, you've had enough information, you've had enough guidance, you've had enough direction on what I've been giving you. I've broken down the anatomy of mastering real estate, where you now have to make a couple of decisions. Am I really going to be able to do this as a solo agent? Excuse my throat. I'm losing my voice because I've been traveling, as you may or may not know. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this, but I've been traveling a lot, and the altitude, the change of environment, everything else is just affecting my throat. So excuse my throat, but we're going to move forward with this because we are action takers. We are action takers, and we are gladiators of change, and we're going to do this. So would a team be your best fit? Don't let your ego get in the way. Just because you join a team doesn't mean you lose your identity. It doesn't mean that you lose your brand. What actually means is that you get an added layer of support, so that instead of closing 1 deal every 3 months, or 2 deals every 6 months, right? Or 3 deals every 9 months, or 4 deals every 12 months, you're actually going to be intensifying the efforts, and with the support of other team players, you can now close 4 deals a month. And if you have any questions on that, I'd be happy to, have a more one-on-one conversation on exactly what that would look like. But let me tell you what's happening across the nation. Top producers that have been closing 20, 25 transactions a year are actually joining big mega teams because they want to scale and close twice as much, and they know their bandwidth and their capacity is not where it needs to be for them to do that. So they join a team for the added support. So this is really important. And I wanted to take some time to go over this because you need to identify, who are you in the game of real estate? Who are you? Where is your best position? So maybe you're not good at conversations. I actually had a conversation with an agent one time that said, I hate people. Like, I hate people. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want people to talk to me. Like, I hate talking to people. And I said, so why would you get into real estate? He goes, because I'm a great closer. Like, if I get somebody in front of me, they're buying a house or they're selling their house, I have no doubt. That's awesome. That means this person is a great closer. But then he needs someone else, and he needed someone else to bring in the deals. He needed someone else to have those conversations. He needed someone else to do those follow-ups. And then when they handed it over to him, boom, the deal was made. I hope you're capturing that idea, because that's really powerful, and that's something you must identify. But I want to go over, again, what is a technique and what is a tactic? And here's where the rubber's going to meet the road for you. Here's where you're actually going to be able to pivot. Write this down on your notes. I've got to pivot. What does that mean? That means if you've been going one way and you are like that agent I spoke with earlier this week that said, look, Lucy, I've been in the business 5 years and I've had no closings this year. You know why that is? Because it's no longer real estate on Easy Street, because all the agents that have been closing deals in the last 5 years, had a lot of things in their favor. Interest rates were like 1%. People were giving money away. Everybody and their mother was qualifying for a home. Sellers were sitting on, boatloads of equity, and they could find other houses for, less money than they were getting out of their home. So they, sellers were like, okay, I'm going to sell this home. I'm going to cash out, and then I can still go buy another house that's bigger, better, and I'm still going to have a lot of money left. Or they were able to sell their home and have like a gazillion offers for that home, because everybody was sending in highest and best. So they would price a home at $350 and it would actually sell for $50,000 more. That is no longer the truth. That is not a normal market. That is not a stable market. That is one of those markets that creates what we're living now, which is an uphill battle market. And now you have to scale. So techniques and tactics are super important. What is a technique? The technique is what you do. The tactic is how you do it. And this is something you need to review on a daily basis, because your level of skill determines how effectively you do things, and your level of how effectively you do things is going to directly affect the results that you get. It's going to directly affect the results that you get. So in this lead generation intelligence, I want to give you some pointers, because I think this is super important. I think we're at the point where you're either going to do this or you're not. I think you're at the point where you have to make some strong, business decisions. For example, am I going to hang in this? Am I really going to get myself to do what Lucy has been telling me for the last couple of weeks? Am I really going to dominate myself so I can dominate my business, so I can dominate the market? So the number one thing that you have to focus on, engage yourself, is in your communication skills. Forbes magazine put out the 5 signs of a bad real estate agent according to, customers, and it was lack of communication. That's why I'm saying, are you a good lead capturer? Are you great at follow-up? Are you awesome at appointments? Or are you awesome at closing the deal? So your communication skills has everything to do with how you are performing. Lucy, what exactly does that mean? Are you asking the right questions? If you are one of these people that struggles with asking questions, then you are lacking in communication skills. If you're one of these people that tend to hibernate, that find it difficult to break out of your own box, then you're stuck. And that's where you have to focus and make some decisions. Do I join a team? Do I join a team for the added layer? Or do I just call it quits and go do something else? I got to tell you the truth. Maybe real estate is not for some of you. Maybe real estate is not for some of you, and that's okay. No judgment, no shame in the game, but it is what it is. Leadership. Leadership is not so much that you have to be out there known by everybody and their mother. Leadership is being able to lead yourself on a daily basis as a business owner. See, guys, here's a problem. Here's your challenge. You're wanting to lead a buyer and a seller, yet you're not able to lead yourself in making yourself do what you need to do when you need to do it, because it's what has to happen. Let me say that again for you. You're wanting to lead a buyer and a seller when psychologically speaking, you're not leading yourself. See, you want to grow, and you're watching this and you're connected here with me because, Lucy, I want to grow. I want to master real estate. I want to crush it. I want to rock. I want to be a real estate superstar. I want to get to 6 figures. But you have to dissect your daily method of operating and saying, okay, at what level am I leading myself? And listen to me, pay close attention and write this down. I'm saying I want to grow, but am I willing to change? I'm saying I want to grow, but am I willing to change? See, everybody was a great real estate agent when it was real estate on Easy Street. Everybody was able to do a deal. It was, I call it a deal by accident. Accidentally, they picked up the phone. Accidentally, the seller said yes. Accidentally, they showed up. Accidentally, they got to the closing table. But it's no longer that. So are you leading yourself on a daily basis? And are you leading yourself and saying, yeah, I want to grow, but am I willing to change? Unused resources. The number one resource that you have is your voice. Look at me, I'm losing my voice. That's why I'm here struggling and talking. But guess what? I'm pushing myself beyond the limit. I'm pushing myself beyond my comfort zone. I'm pushing myself beyond the standard. I'm pushing myself beyond the average. I'm pushing myself to do what I said I would do the day I said I would do it, because it is what I'm supposed to do as a great leader that first leads myself so that I can then lead others. And whether you know it or not, that is transmitted psychologically. It is transmitted in vibration. It is transmitted in energy. It is transmitted throughout the energy that I am exuding. Because what you sow is what you reap, and to every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So it's, people think they're going to sit at home. Their brokers don't know what they're doing. Their brokers don't even know where they're at. And I'm just going to sit at home. I'm going to hibernate, and magically the right results are going to happen. No, because you are not implementing the right resources. And the right resource, the number one right resource, is your voice. You must be looking for the people and talking to the people every single day. You must be putting yourself out there in front of the buyers and the sellers every single day. I don't care what method you use. There's many methods to use. And then when you end up talking to someone, you put so much pressure that you turn them off. You turn them off because everybody wants to buy. Nobody wants to be sold. Everybody wants to buy. Nobody wants to be sold. No one wants to speak with someone that has salesman's breath. It stinks. It's worse than morning breath. And then, of course, if you're not strong at follow-up, that's where the fortune is at. That's why you need to join a team. That's why you need to have a conversation with someone and say, hey, you know what? Tell me about your team, because, I'm a solo agent right now. And if you are a team leader, then maybe you need to join another team and combine 2 teams together. Lucy, can that be done? Absolutely, it can be done. We see it all the time in common business. We see DirecTV and AT&T joining forces. We see, WhatsApp joining Facebook and becoming one. We see all types of joint ventures, because together we're better, together we're stronger, and together we could do more. So let me just give you this in closing, so you can start practicing and thinking about what exactly you're going to do within the next week, because you are now able to make some defining decisions. We're talking about follow-ups. If you're talking to someone that is looking to do something in the next 30 days or less, your follow-up has to be on a weekly basis or more. Maybe every 3 days, but minimum on a weekly basis. If you're talking to someone that's wanting to do something within the next 30 to 45 days, it's every other week. It's every other week. And if you're talking to someone that's going to want to do something in the next 90 days or more, guys, that is not where your focus needs to be at, because you need to make money yesterday. We all need to make money yesterday. Our main focus needs to be in the first and second, but definitely then you start to go into cultivating the leads, incubating the leads. Write that down. It's not just lead generating, it's lead cultivating, lead incubating, and lead converting. Write that down. That is the anatomy of lead generation, or mastering lead generation is lead generation, lead capturing, lead cultivating, lead converting, sorry, lead cultivating, lead incubating, and lead converting. Right now, you're going to need to talk to someone or touch them, poke them, be in their radar, be in their face, be in their mind, top of mind, 36 times. That's why it's called 36 touches. How can I do this? You can call them, email them, text them, send them a postcard, a letter, a video text. You can do a pop by. That means you stop by their house and drop something off. You can do Facebook Lives. You can do Reels. You can do stories, and you can do shorts. There are so many ways for you to be in front of your of your audience. But the number one thing is your audience needs to see you, hear you, feel you every single day. You need to be in their radar. It is not their job. I can't believe how many agents say to their customers, well, call me when you're ready. Really? Are you for real? Like, it's their job to remember you when there's 9,000 realtors in the area? No, it is your job to be top of mind with them. And that's what's going to give you the difference. So again, 36 touches. I gave you several ways that you can do it. If you have questions on any of these ways, or if you need ideas, or if you need, some feedback on what exactly you can do, let us know. This is what I had for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. Sit down, paper, pencil, and write down, what am I going to do? Because I'm at a defining moment right now. Am I a good lead capturer? Am I a good appointment setter? Am I good at follow-up? Is that my gift? I mean, if I have someone bringing me the people, am I able to follow up with them to the point where I get them into an appointment? And then am I a good closer? Who exactly am I? This is exactly what we all need to do. Don't forget to go follow me, Coach Lucy Q, on any one of these platforms. I will see you next week and bring your running partners, guys. Let's do this. Let's crush it.